Alcohol is a key risk factor for chronic disease and injury, and its addictive nature and accessibility have led to its widespread global use. The harmful effects of alcohol, meaning hazardous consumption levels, how and when it's consumed, and even the quality of the alcohol, are significant contributors to the global burden of disease. It is also a leading risk factor for premature death and disability among young people. My colleague, Professor Bill Bellew, explains further.
Harmful drinking is a major avoidable risk factor for neuropsychiatric disorders and other non-communicable diseases, such as cardiovascular diseases, cirrhosis of the liver, and various cancers. For some of these diseases, notably cancers, there's no evidence of a threshold effect in the relationship between the risk and the level of alcohol consumption. In other words, greater consumption results in greater risks to health. The harmful use of alcohol is also associated with several infectious diseases like HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, and pneumonia. A significant proportion of the disease burden attributable to harmful drinking arises from unintentional and intentional injuries, including those due to road traffic crashes and violence and suicides. Fatal injuries due to alcohol consumption tend to occur mainly in young people. There are three main direct mechanisms of harm caused by alcohol consumption in an individual: toxic effects on organs and tissues, intoxication leading to impairment of physical coordination, consciousness, cognition, perception, affect or behavior, and dependence, whereby the drinker's self-control over his or her drinking behavior is impaired. With regard to alcohol consumption, we know that the harmful use of alcohol results in 3.3 million deaths each year. On average, every person in the world aged 15 years or older drinks 6.2 litres of pure alcohol per year. Yet, less than half the population, 38.3%, actually drinks alcohol. This means that those who do drink consume on average 17 litres of pure alcohol annually. Worldwide consumption in 2010 was equal to 6.2 litres of pure alcohol consumed per person aged 15 years or older, which translates into 13.5 grams of pure alcohol per day. A quarter of this consumption, 24.8%, was unrecorded. That is, homemade alcohol, illegally produced, or sold outside normal government controls. Of total recorded alcohol consumed worldwide, 50.1% was consumed in the form of spirits. Worldwide, 61.7% of the population aged 15 years or older had not drunk alcohol in the past 12 months. In all WHO regions, females are more often lifetime abstainers than males. There's a considerable variation in the prevalence of abstention across the WHO regions. Worldwide, about 16% of drinkers aged 15 years or older engage in heavy episodic drinking. In general, the greater the economic wealth of a country, the more alcohol is consumed, and the smaller the number of abstainers. High-income countries have the highest alcohol per capita consumption and the highest prevalence of heavy episodic drinking amongst drinkers. Looking at the burden of disease attributable to alcohol, in 2012, about 3.3 million net deaths, or 5.9% of all global deaths, were attributable to alcohol consumption. There are significant sex differences in the proportion of global deaths attributable to alcohol. For example, in 2012, 7.6% of deaths amongst males and 4% of deaths amongst females were attributable to alcohol. In 2012, 139 million net DALYs, that is disability adjusted life years, or 5.1% of the global burden of disease and injury were attributable to alcohol consumption. There is also wide geographical variation in the proportion of alcohol attributable deaths and DALYs. The highest alcohol attributable fractions were reported in the WHO European region. So, how are we addressing these issues? Delegations from all 193 member states or countries of WHO reached consensus at the World Health Assembly in 2010 on a WHO global strategy to reduce the harmful use of alcohol. Alcohol policies are developed with the aim of reducing harmful use of alcohol and the alcohol attributable health and social burden in a population and in society. We have the global strategy, but there are usually strategies and actions at regional, multinational, national and subnational level. Based on the WHO Global Alcohol Strategy, we can identify the key alcohol control policies and interventions that are recommended. These include having a written national alcohol policy, implementing awareness-raising activities nationwide, introducing labelling on alcohol products, restricting the marketing of alcohol, including advertising, promotions, sponsorships and product placements, implementing fiscal policies such as taxation and pricing regimes, regulating the availability of alcohol, age restrictions, outlet restrictions, drink driving countermeasures, introducing training on the responsible serving of alcohol.